I'm Anil Kumar, and we will understand few applications of equivalent fractions in this video. I have taken very special application and will actually consider equivalent fractions with common denominator in this particular case. So we need to figure out some applications where equivalent fractions with common denominators is a must. There are three cases. The first is whenever you want to compare fractions, you need to write fractions with common denominator. Those are equivalent fractions with common denominator. Whenever you want to add fractions or subtract fractions, even then you have to write them with common denominator. So we call them equivalent fractions with common denominator. So most of the time you are working with equivalent fractions with common denominator. Let's take up some examples. To compare fractions, let's say we have 2 over 3 and 3 over 4. We need to understand whether 2 over 3 is greater than or equal to or less than 3 over 4. How can we do it? One way to do it is to write them with same denominator. That is to say, we need to write them as equivalent fractions with common denominator. So what I can do here is multiply the first fraction by 4 over 4 and the second by 3 over 3. That is to say, if I multiply numerator by 4 and denominator by 4, 4 over 4 is 1. Multiplying by 1 means same fraction, that is equivalent fraction, right? But what really happens? When you multiply by 4, you get 8 in the numerator and denominator is 12. For the second number, when you multiply by 3, 3 times 3 is 9 and the denominator is 3 times 4, 12. Do you see? So how did we get these numbers 3s and 4? We got them from their denominators. So these are the numbers which gets multiplied. So that's kind of a very simple step to do whenever you want to compare fractions. Okay. Now, since they have common denominator of 12, you need to just compare the numerators and then write down the symbol. 8 is less than 9 and therefore the answer should be 2 over 3 is less than 3 over 4. So in this case, it is kind of like this. So we could compare the fraction by writing them as equivalent fractions with common denominator. Okay, I hope you understood this part. Now let us see how to add fractions which do not have same denominator. Let us say you want to add 1 over 2 with 1 over 3. In this particular example, 1 in the numerator is same but does not help. Denominator should be same. How can I make denominator same? Well, their common multiple is 6. 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6. So what I will do here is write these fractions as equivalent fractions with common denominator. We found that the lowest common denominator here is equal to 6. So we'll try to make both of them as 6. How can you make 2 as 6? You can multiply 2 by 3 to make it 6. Since you are multiplying denominator by 3, you have to multiply numerator also by 3. Then what you get is an equivalent fraction. Do you get the idea, right? The other fraction should be multiplied and divided by the number 2. So we get equivalent fractions. Let me now rewrite these numbers after multiplication. 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 times 2 is 6. The other fraction will be 2 times 1 as 2, 3 times 2 as 6. Now we can add them, right? So let's add them. 3 plus 2 is 5 and 6 is the common denominator that is remaining the same, right? So 5 over 6 is sum of 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3, correct? So that is how we do it. Now let's look into the last example, how to subtract fractions which do not have same denominators. Let me write down one example here for you. Let us say we want to take away some number or a fraction from 3 over 4. Let us say it is 2 over 3, right? So we found that 3 over 4 is greater than 2 over 3. Let us find the difference. Now, we need to write them with same denominator. We learn that we can multiply 3 over 4 by 3 over 3, right? That means both by 3, and these numbers by 4, correct? So let's do it. 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, minus 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, and now we have the same denominator, which is 12. So basically we need to take away 8 from 9. We get the result as 1 over 12. Do you see that? So these are the three applications which always will use equivalent fractions with common denominators. We'll explore more on each one of them in the coming videos. I'm Anil Kumar. You can subscribe and share my videos. Thank you and all the best.